Hey. Okay, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a hump day edition of Morning Scone, presented by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, Parish Construction and Roofing. If you need an orthopedic, go to Brock. You need a roof, give us a shout at Parish. Unique Physique, uniquephysique.com, Restored Motions, restoredmotions.com, and On Fire Athletes, the platform powered by GameCoin. Okay, y'all. Glad to have you all aboard with us. A little bit of a late start today. Apologize for that. Hope everybody's morning is off to a great start. Hope everybody's staying safe with all the weather. Did y'all try to get out and about yesterday? Hopefully not. I did very briefly. I got in the car with Drew just to go drive around the neighborhood, just very slowly. We made it to the stop sign at the end of our street, and I was like, turn around. Hi. Go this way. Okay, here we go. Somebody just woke up. You want to show everybody your cozy jammies with your hood? No. Nope. Okay. Let me go a little reindeer hood. I love you. I love you. You just woke up. You just woke up. Huh? Did you just wake up?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. All right.
Whoa.
There we go. There we go. There he goes. All right, y'all. Please smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post. Appreciate y'all for all that. We'll say some good mornings. Hope everybody did okay with all the freezy, frosty weather. Now the thaw out begins, which is challenging when it's 28 degrees, 26 degrees, high of 36 today, low of 10. So did we already have the 10? Or are we getting down to 10 tonight? Okay, good. Low tonight looks like 19. So we already had the 10 degrees overnight. So anyway, sun will be out today, and hopefully start to see some of this ice melt and thaw a little bit, and kind of get back to life tomorrow. So, all right, we'll say some good mornings here. I do have in the description there about Saban, his biggest mistake shot on the pivot. Talked about it today on today's episode of Locked on LSU. Hunt wrote a great column about it over at LouisianaSports.net. Would highly recommend and appreciate if you go give it a read. It was interesting because we've heard Saban say that before, but yes, but maybe just a little more detail and tell him the story. You know, he told the story. I've heard Skip tell the story of his conversations with Saban when Saban was leaving, and how Wayne Huizenga, then the then owner of the Dolphins, just kept coming back offering more and more. And every time Saban would ask for more, Huizenga would give it to him. And ultimately it was the point where if Saban said if you keep saying no, they're going to stop asking. So he went. I know it's still a bunch. It's pretty compact, so it's probably going to stay for a bit, but really need the streets to clear up. You can drive.
They're like ice, though.
Huh?
They're like ice.
What? Yeah. That's why we need sun and warmer weather to dry that stuff out. Brian Wynn, good morning. Today's weather gives new meaning to cold plunge. Yeah, I did the cold plunge in the tub. Chickened out, did not go outside. Well, I don't know what the temperature is.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter. There's a giant difference between 50-degree water and 33. Well, that was yesterday. It's been 24 hours. It was 10 degrees last night. This is the low last night was 10. No, it's not. That was last night. It was a 24-hour period.
Today, the low is 10.
And that was this morning already. Look at your hourly forecast. Tonight, the low is 19.
I've been a day behind for my whole life.
Hey, Jason Walker. Good morning, Matt. Enjoy your downtime. The grind starts again real soon. I am not enjoying my downtime, Jason. I like to work. I like to be productive. I can enjoy being home, but we still.
You just said you didn't. You like to work.
I do like to work. I like to be productive. That doesn't mean I don't want to be with my family. I do want to work. We have a lot to do, and I like to be productive. Brennan, it snowed yesterday. It did snow. It snowed a lot. Hey, Brett, Saban was fantastic on the pivot, regardless of how LSU fans feel about losing to Bama every year. Good man with a good heart, best coach ever. Definitely the best coach ever. The other stuff, I don't know Nick personally to know if he's a good man with a good heart. I really don't know that. Maybe he is. But hope he is. But he was great on the pivot. That's for certain. E-Rock was hilarious in the snow yesterday. Brett, she was making snow angels and
fun.
Throwing snow up in the air. I went out there with you. Anyway. Bubba Smith, good morning. Cartel Bo, shalom. Kelly Gross, good morning. Ross Meir, good morning. Snowed in. Whew. I think we all are right now. Tigers, when do we expect final portal additions, if any? Yeah, so I mentioned it a couple times. So it's one of the reasons why it was beneficial that when you had a bird in hand, you go after it. So the safety that they had the third party silent commit was a kid from Penn State who decided not to enter the portal, which is why it was so important that they went after a guy like TaMarcus Cooley, because that's a lesson learned from a year ago where they got left holding the bag after the first portal cycle and were desperate in the second portal cycle for defensive line, and all they ended up landing in that second portal cycle was JVR Suggs. Austin, good morning. Never appreciated workout from home more than today. Hope all is well with you and the Scone heads. Cortland, Jesse, Glenn left the Jets with no contract, rather a coach with head coach experience. Yeah, so by the way, so that happened yesterday. Aaron Glenn had his interview with the Jets, left without a contract. He was supposed to be in New Orleans today, but obviously with the weather that got postponed. However, the reports last night were that it wasn't done, and actually the Jets had begun alerting other candidates that that they were going in a different direction, meaning Glenn was likely going to get the job. So just because it didn't happen yesterday, I think that doesn't necessarily mean that it won't happen. Hey, Tate Granger, good morning. 8 inches in Youngsville. Did we ever see what was the final total in Baton Rouge? I didn't go get a ruler and measure what we got here. I'm just curious what it was. Man. Thomas, good morning. All right. Is this the record-breaking day, Thomas? Working from home, not working out from home. Sorry. Kyle, morning. Hope you're good. Thoughts on Palmer thinking Joe Brady or Aaron Glenn being the Saints' new head coach? Palmer. So are you talking, what Palmer are you talking about there? And I would be good, I think. Listen, it sounds like Aaron Glenn is going to be the Jets coach. I don't have any insight other than just what we're seeing from the national reports. Aaron Glenn, his preferred destination is the Jets. Seems like he was there yesterday, went well. And if they were starting to inform people that they're going a different direction, that would stand the reason that Glenn would be the guy. And if that happens, so then the Saints move on. Does that mean Joe Brady, Mike McCarthy? Well, if it's Brady, they got to wait for Brady's season to end for them to interview him in person and hire him. That could happen this weekend if the Bills lose the AFC Championship game to the Chiefs. If they go on to the Super Bowl, then you delay it. I just don't think that there's any reason at all to I don't think there's any reason at all to rush Mike McCarthy. No one else is hiring Mike McCarthy. The Bears were the other team that had reported interest. They've already got their coach. There's no reason to rush it. Like, if you want to wait to talk to Kingsbury and talk to Brady, like, wait. There's just no reason to rush. Brad, good morning. I now understand why you hate snow. Yeah, man. I mean, it's a giant inconvenience. It's pretty outside, but you basically just stay inside. Cartel, did Drew like the snow? No, he did not. Drew was outside for about, I knew it was what happened. Drew was probably outside for less than 5 minutes. We bundled him up. We all went out as a family to do our pictures and everything. And he's very uneasy on like uneven surfaces. So like walking in grass or walking on sand is hard for him. So like the snow made it very difficult for him to feel steady. So he just kind of wanted to be held. So Drew went back inside, then Eric and I stayed outside, and I threw a few snowballs at her, and she made a snow angel and threw some of the snow in the air, and she would have stayed out there all day. Tate contemplate throwing up the Christmas tree and having a second Christmas with the snow. Christian, what's good? Shoot, it's cold out, feels great outside. Is that just me? The humidity plays a huge factor in the biting cold feeling. I don't know about humidity, man. It's the wind that's always the biting cold that gets me. Like, if it's cold but still, it's not nearly as bad as when it's windy. When it's windy, that just cuts right through you. Kendricks, 4 degrees this morning, Lafayette. Ooh, thank you. Chance, feels like a dead time for sports. If Mulkey can beat Carolina, that'll hype things up. Yeah, Chance. I mean, the disappointing thing is that both the LSU men and the Pelicans stink. You've got LSU baseball starting here in 3 weeks from Friday, and people are very excited about that. But tomorrow, the LSU women play at Carolina, so that's a top 5 matchup. But I don't think there's ever such thing as a dead time in sports. I mean, we just went portal cycle. The NFL playoffs are going on. Saints are hiring a coach. Senior Bowl is next week. Just never really stops. 10 to 12 inches yesterday. Did we ever get a word on Baton Rouge? Like what they said the snowfall was in Baton Rouge? Club, good morning. Ryan Jones, good morning. Thomas. Oh, very cool. Yep. So yesterday was Hunt Palmer's birthday as well. Thank you for watching or listening to Locked On as always, Thomas. Much appreciated. Locked On LSU is live if y'all want to check it out. Trivia, good morning. Brady, I watched The Pivot last night. It was incredible. You should watch really The Pivot. I mean, I've been kind of banging the drum about The Pivot for 2 years now, but it's like, it is a great show. I mean, they're very candid conversations. I mean, earlier this year, they did one with Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who openly talked about his issues with PTSD from the incident before the 2018 season, or after the 2018 season, before 2019 season. They had Joe Burrow on. And you can find a lot of the local ties. They did an interview with Aaron Glenn. If you want to go watch one with Aaron Glenn, I mean, it might be the Saints coach. We'll see. Damon, good morning. Critter, Getter, good day for some gumbo. Tygas, what kind of guitar is that in the background? Can you play us something? That is a handmade guitar from a guy named Tim, who owned Tim's guitar. I don't even know if Tim's Guitar Shops. I bought that in 2002. Okay. Erica wants to build a snowman today. Can someone give tips and tricks to how to build a snowman? Critter, or who is that? Someone said, what kind of guitar is that? Can you play us something? Tyga said, what kind of guitar is that? Can you play something? What do you want me to play, Erica? What? What? That's just warming up. I forgot the. We did Enchanted once, didn't we? We did Love. I don't remember. Yeah, I learned I don't play them enough to remember your Taylor Swift stuff. Let's see. With Tom Petty. She grew up in an Indiana town. Good looking mom. Erica said you're so loud. So. There you go. I gave you a little bit of Tom Petty, like 10 seconds of Tom Petty. What? Okay, Erica wants to make a team. Can I do Morning Scone, please? Okay. Erica wants to make a Team Drew snowman, and she needs help making because she couldn't figure out how to put together snowballs yesterday. She was just making mounds. I was like, you have to really tightly compact it. Yeah. I long ago came to peace with all the Saban stuff. I have been able to compartmentalize loving Nick Saban for what he did at LSU and what LSU has become, and hating the fact that he beat LSU for so long. I have compartmentalized those two things. So when I think about Nick Saban, I can hold his time at LSU in high regard, with tons of gratitude and appreciation and all that sort of stuff. Like, I have no problem doing that. Lowell, good morning. Gulf of Mexico, it'll never snow here. Gulf of America, hold my beer. Robert, morning from Sacramento. Work sucked without AFR. Sorry, man. We'll be back on tomorrow. I think I've said it before. It was not my preference to be off, but we had to be mindful of, obviously, safety and getting everybody to the studio and all that stuff. So, yeah. So, Brad, I think Haldane stayed at the radio station. So, Talk 107.3 stayed on. Haldane stayed up there. Which is what I was kind of hoping we could get some of our staff to do, and there were no takers. So what do? You make people go up there? Trivia, Saban to the Saints. I don't think so, man. Saban did say if he coach again, it would be in the NFL. Cortland, he regretted leaving, then raided our state. What do you want him to do? I mean, of course, you're trying to win. It's just, if when he was leaving Miami, if the job that was open was Michigan or USC, and he had gone to those places, we wouldn't care. It's that he came back into college, and not only back into college, in your conference, in your division. I mean, that's what sucked about it. Guy Brooks, good morning. Matt from snowy North Carolina. I hope Drew enjoyed the snow. Story about Nick Saban on Locked On. Crazy, right? Vernell, good morning. James, good morning. Wendell, Quentin, Ryan. Brady to the Saints, I would be fine with that, which is interesting because I would have not been fine with that probably a year ago or a couple of years ago. But, go if you missed it, the interview Scott Shanley did on AFR where he sort of raved about Joe Brady was interesting to me. And his take was more what happened in Carolina was less Joe Brady and more Matt Rule, the shortcomings there. So I found that really interesting. Gary, 14 in Mobile. Whew. Hope everyone's enjoying global warming. Call the airport where they usually gauge rain and snowfall. I know they have different gauges all over, right? Jeremy, good morning. All right, Thomas, let's get it out of the way. Here we go. The record-breaking 20th day in a row without me missing or forgetting. Here you go. Here it is.
Parish Construction and Roofing. At Parish, we've got you covered. From the top of your roof, all the way down. Parish Construction and Roofing. Parish Built. Parish Built. Parish Built. From your hometown. ParishBuilt.com.
All right. Parish Construction and Roofing. Would greatly, greatly appreciate it if you would take a quick second. Tomorrow's the last day. Oh, I'm sorry. Friday would be the last day to vote. I just posted the link in the chat. Best of Baton Rouge. If you would click the link, Home and Garden Roofing Company, and then select Parish, would greatly appreciate it. You don't need to plug in an email. You can vote multiple times, just once a day up until the end of the voting cycle. So would greatly appreciate if you would go vote for Parish Construction and Roofing. Again, I just posted the link there. Would greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate it. All right, please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post. Micah, good morning. Ryan, Matt, with the weather as it stands, go get a John Deere tractor, plow the roads. Thinking tractor sexy. Hey, man. Those tractors would have no problem getting around. I wish they did have, like, it just goes to show, like, why we shut down when something like this happens is we just don't have the infrastructure. Like, we don't have snow plows. We don't have salt trucks. We don't have a lot of places. Like, I remember in South Bend, they had a pipe system that ran under all of the sidewalks on the campus that was like a heating system, so that that way it would prevent the sidewalks from being iced, so you could walk around so students could walk around campus. So, but that's just like the infrastructure you have to plan for when you have snow and ice on the ground for 6-7 months. When it happens here once every 6-7 years, it's like, well, you just shut things down for a couple days. All right, Baton Rouge got 8 inches. Crazy, man. Seth, who do you prefer, Matt? I think Vrabel would have been an awesome hire. Yeah, I've said that I'm not really in favor of a retread. I would like a young offensive-minded coach. So Joe Brady, Cliff Kingsbury, at this point, would kind of check the box for me. I've said about Aaron Glenn, it's no fault of his own, but I would really like to disassociate from the Sean Payton, Drew Brees era. And I get it, like, DA is a hotly sought after defensive coordinator. Darren Rizzi is probably going to be someone people want as a special teams coordinator. I don't know if y'all saw, but Alvin Kamara yesterday on Twitter put on Twitter his choice for head coach was Darren Rizzi. So, that's interesting. But I think I'm just looking in a copycat league, what's working. Young, offensive-minded coaches, preferably off the Shanahan-McVay tree, but we'll see. Cortland, hire Sarkisian or Freeman, get them out of college. I don't think either of those are happening. Huh? Okay. Hunter Broadhead. Ooh, your face just went in.
No, it did not.
It did.
Oh my God. Move that camera now.
Hunter Broadhead, Matt, good morning. Wouldn't all the coaches be able to interview next week since they have the week off for the Super Bowl? I think the rules are that the in-person interview, you could do virtual in that period, but you can't do in-person until their seasons are over. So that's the NFL's rule. Oh, I just saw your foot. Robbie, good morning, Matt. Wanted to get your thoughts on Ichiro and CC Sabathia elected to the Hall of Fame since you're a Yankee fan. Saw that for CC. I'm happy for him. Obviously, it was a big part of the 2009 World Series championship team. It's pretty wild seeing some of the old video of CC, like when he was a high schooler, and like tall, thin CC, because that's the guy who used. Erica thought CC Sabathia was ridiculous. What? Yeah. Old Captain Crunch. Erica did not like that he was a big fat guy with an oversized uniform.
I just don't understand how that's athlete.
He was awesome. He's in the Hall of Fame now. Haven't been around snow like this since Yosemite in 2001. Eric, morning, Scone. I want to get your thoughts on your top 5 bourbons these days. So that's such a difficult question. Like, and I don't mean to make it complicated because, like, I could tell you what the best things I've ever had are, but it's so they're not attainable, you know.
Just say it. All he wants as all we have.
But then people are going to like try to go find these, and you're not going to. Whose show is this? You're being real ornery this morning. You are. About you want to like some people like to be with their families. Big snowman. Oh, you didn't do the pump. Oh, why don't you answer the question? I'm sorry, Peanut Gallery. You know, you can look, it's beautiful out the back too.
No, this is a beautiful view. I want to sit up at the window, but
You can sit at the window, you won't be on. You can definitely sit at the window. You can sit at the window. So Pat B15 is my favorite of the Van Winkles. I mean, it's all the top tier stuff, the Van Winkles, the B-Tex, George T. Stagg. Four Roses LE, I think, knocks it out the park every year, and I was very, very lucky to get one right there for 2024 Four Roses LE. Of the Wellers, I love Weller 12. That's the black label right there. Can never go wrong with, I mean, this is one of the Whistle Pig Boss Hogs up here. Those are always great. My favorite rye I've ever had was the Kentucky Owl 11-year rye from 2018. If anyone ever finds the best rye I've ever had, if anyone ever finds a bottle of that, the 2018 Kentucky Owl 11-year rye, I love that. There you go. Cortland, I feel bad for Jay. People talking baseball for months, lots of pressure. Some of these fans going to be wanting Jay fired after a loss. I don't feel bad for Jay. He makes $2 million and gets to coach LSU baseball and has all the resources and has already won a championship. I don't feel bad for him. I think he's doing good. Brett, 5 degrees in Lafayette this morning, record low. Whew. Mark, Nick Saban, Pete Carroll, Belichick, all Croatian Americans. Go figure. Yes, go figure. Hey, Dad, good morning. David, morning from Vegas, the military bowling championship for me. Well, David, you were good enough to be able to scoot out of town before all this. So, Cody, morning, Matt. Thankfully, no snow in DFW. Plus, got tickets for when LSU baseball's in town. Very good. Yeah, man. I think we're sending Hunt up to Frisco Classic to cover that, so it'll be good. Mark, when will roads be open again? I don't know, man. Hopefully. Huh? They've already canceled tomorrow? Probably because of the mooring. Just another Esperanto learner. Frosty the Snowman. David, good morning. Patrick, good morning. Had a hard time getting snow to stick together unless I got the water stuff underneath. Oh, the wetter stuff underneath. Club said, E-Rock, building a snowman, wait till it gets a little warmer, around 32 degrees.
So, do I need to bring out a spray bottle of water?
Fresh snow is drier, so it won't stick together.
Yeah. I noticed that yesterday. So hard.
Austin, I'm like you, Matt. I like to work and stay productive. It's the first day of the fiscal February for me. I'm grinding away. Yeah. I don't think he see that was the other interesting thing about the pivot we've all heard how Miami failed Breeze on the physical, but what Saban said in the pivot that I hadn't heard before was that he got Dr. James Andrews to look at them both as well. And Dr. Andrews said Breeze was going to be fine and that Culpepper was the one to worry about because he relies on his mobility and his knee was so messed up he was never going to regain his mobility. But it was Miami's team doctors that failed Breeze on the physical when Dr. Andrews would have passed him. Whew. Rooney, remember when Saban went to Bama, how upset my stepdad was? He said Saban will beat our behind until he retires. He pretty much did. Yeah, he did. Hey, Dad, good morning. Bronco Nation, good morning. Randy, the Ohio State with a $30 million payroll. Very encouraging for LSU in 25. Hard to convince me Howard is better than GN13. To Will Howard from Ohio State. Yeah, no, I agree with you on that. Will Howard had some moments this year, but I don't know that Ohio State was a $30 million payroll. But whatever. I mean, it's no different than Major League Baseball, where the Yankees and the Dodgers and the Red Sox and the Cubs all have the Mets have the highest payroll. And if you don't have a salary cap, it's what it is. How much do you want to invest in winning? Let's see. Good morning. Hardly ever catch you live. Well, glad to see you there. Do you think the LSU coaching staff will do anything different to prepare a team for the game against Clemson to help assure a better game one outcome? Boy, that's a great question. Brian Kelly in the bowl prep did kind of talk about that, like assessing everything they do to get a better outcome. And so one of the things he talked about was before the bowl game was treating the bowl game like preparation for next year to get off to a good start for next year. Now you're kind of dealt the hand that you have with who plays in the game and who doesn't. But maybe one of the benefits clearly is you got to play a lot of people in the bowl game that you otherwise wouldn't have had, in a featured role. A lot of your veteran defensive guys played, but in particular at safety and on the offensive line, you got to play a lot of younger guys who might play a bigger role. So to that end, that might be helpful. It was interesting. I saw yesterday FanDuel put out early lines for some of the big college football games, and that Clemson 2.5 point favorite against LSU, which would basically tell you that if it was a neutral site, they'd have LSU maybe half-point favorite or pick them. And if it were in Baton Rouge, LSU would be about a 3-point favorite. So interesting. Long way to go. Carl the Cat, I'm done with all the snow. Thank God opening day for LSU baseball is an afternoon game. I flatly disagree with you, Carl the Cat. I, as an afternoon drive radio host, am not okay with Jay Johnson continuing to play day baseball games. That's a very, very negative thing for me. Was 6 years old when Saban became the head coach of LSU. Yeah, it was my college years, man. My freshman year of college was 2000. So that was Saban's first year at LSU. So my college career coincided with Saban's time in Baton Rouge. It was a great time, man. It was a lot of fun being a student during those times. Abner, good morning. What did you think about the snow? What did you think about the snow? Drew lasted did he last 5 minutes? Probably not even 5 minutes. We took a few pictures and he was just ready to go inside.
He just doesn't get much.
He
did not like it.
Yeah.
He didn't like it. He was like, we're done yet?
Yeah, he just doesn't understand, like, why are we standing outside?
Like, we just go
Yeah. So, however, my 44-year-old child loved the snow. I mean, snow angels and snowballs and throwing snow in the air and wants to make a snowman and all that stuff.
Doing a Team Drew snowman today. With the Team Drew shirt on. He's so cute.
You're going to put a shirt on the snowman?
Yeah. Have a Team Drew sweatshirt recently.
How are you going to do that?
I've got a cute little Mardi Gras Team Drew sweatshirt.
No, how are you going to get it on the snowman?
The way people get clothes on snowmen. I've seen them all the time wearing clothes. It's going to be a big job out there for us.
Can't wait.
You can help get that ball rolling. Like the ball, they roll the ball. Like they roll it.
Maybe I get the push broom and I could just push a whole big pile of snow all together and we can then shape and form it.
We need 3 balls. Snowmen have 3 balls.
Snowmen have 3 balls. Did you know that? Snowmen have 3 balls. Manny, good morning. Hope you and yours are safe and warm. Safe, yes. Warm-ish. But hope all is well for everybody. Yeah, please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post, shout out all of our sponsors. Brock, if you do need an orthopedist, they're the best with locations all over Greater Baton Rouge. You can get your appointment at brortho.com. Parrish, I know with the thaw out, I'm just looking at our Parrish inquiries coming in, and there's one picture that I saw of someone, like, their beams in their attic had snow on the beams, so they clearly had a leak, and it was coming in and it was starting to compile there. So say it all the time, you never know you got an issue until you know you got an issue. So if you do have an issue with your roof, we'd love to help you out. Parrish Construction and Roofing. Unique Physique and Restored Motions. Unique Physique, that's semaglutide, tirzepatide, the once-a-week injections for weight loss. Lowest prices, never any contracts. Do the whole thing over telemed. They can ship your medicine anywhere in the country. So if you live in Boston, or someone said they're watching from Sacramento, you want to learn more, go to uniquephysique.com. All right. Looks like we're stuck with McCarthy as a legit option. I don't know that that's the only option. And I'd be okay with Kingsbury as well. I think Kingsbury gets a bad rap. It's impossible for anybody to win at a high level, at least in the past, at Texas Tech. Mike Leach having the one outlier season in 2008 was crazy, but you're just never going to have consistently enough resources to compete with the best at Texas Tech. And every year at Arizona, they got better. And only when Kyler Murray tore his ACL did they derail. So, and he's clearly done a good job this year with Jaden Daniels. So I think Cliff Kingsbury as an NFL offensive coach is a good option. So, see, that's different because you could bring the jersey around and button it. With a sweatshirt, you have to pull it over the top.
The middle ball.
Gary just got my vote. Thank you, Gary. Appreciate that. Cortland, I was stunned to hear Missouri didn't have infrastructure dealing with snow. At least that's one thing they have in common with the South. Hey, John, morning. Saw the Saban interview. What if, meanwhile, the Saints need to begin changing in the offices? Yeah, I just don't think it's happening, man. Michael Cook, good morning. Critter Getter, Cliff Kingsbury, new Saints head coach. Maybe. Ooh, E-Rock, Murder Giraffe.
Murder Giraffe, Happy Giraffe.
Wild E-Rock appears. Jason Horn from the frozen North Shore. Brett DeGrow, we see you, E-Rock.
No, you don't.
Jonathan O, morning, Matt. Still nothing on Colin Hurley. Seems odd nothing has been said since the accident. Yeah, haven't heard anything. I mean, I can reach out to him and see how he's doing. Luis Alama, good morning. Glenda Blanchard, good morning. Carl the Cat, Billy Wagner also made the Hall of Fame. Cortland, can't believe Andrew Jones hasn't been selected. That is odd. Miracle Martinez, morning, Matt, and cheers. I agree. Share your favorites. Jason says E-Rock wants to go play in the snow. Mark, Matt, what band are you excited to see at Jazz Fest? Pearl Jam, dog. Already got it on my calendar. May 3rd. I'm there. Saturday at Jazz Fest. I got to see what day Dave Matthews is playing because I might go see that as well. I might be a 2-day Jazz Fester this year. May 3rd, Pearl Jam? I'm going. Carrigan. You don't want to go to Jazz Fest. I brought you to Jazz Fest one time.
I had a migraine.
And you hate festivals. You don't want to be outside. Like, you don't like concerts anyway. And you don't like being outside of concerts. You don't like being outside of concerts. You want to come to Pearl Jam? Would you like to come to Pearl Jam? Uncle Scone with a hiding E-Rock. Matt, why is E-Rock so contentious today?
I want you to be happy to be home with our family, and you aren't. Yesterday, you're like, what are we going to do? People are sitting here all day. Like, let's just go play outside. It's the best day.
Charlie Cavell, good morning. Last time Bills and Commanders made the Super 93-91. Let's get some fresh blood. Well, Bills were in the Super Bowl in 90. The 4 straight were 90-93, yeah. So it was Giants, Redskins, Dallas. And then the Niners won it in 94. And then the Cowboys won it again in 95. And the Niners beat the Chargers. And the Cowboys in 95 beat the Steelers. And then 96 was the Packers, right? 96 was the Packers. It was Favre's Super Bowl in New Orleans over Packers over the Patriots. Then 97 was the Broncos over the Packers. 98 was the Broncos over the Falcons. 99 was the Rams. The Rams Titans. 2000 was Ravens Giants. 01 was, well, y'all don't care. 01 was Patriots over the Rams. 02 was Bucks over Raiders. Anyway. Barry, good morning. Seth, lucky in North Louisiana, not dealing with snow. Bob Goday, want him back now. Saban, I guess, probably. Thank God for Miami's team doctors, right? Mark, trade you an 11-year ride for that Bobby Hebert autograph from NOLA East gas station meet and greet. I got to find it, man. It's funny you remember that, Mark, but I do have to remind that. I have to find that. It's got to be somewhere in my attic, man. It's like a 5x7 Polaroid signed by Bobby Hebert. I know I have it. It's somewhere probably in the attic and all my memorabilia stuff. I think Nuss is the only returning 4,000-yard passer. That's a big plus. Let's find out. I think you're right, but let's see. There might be a smaller school. See stats, player stats. Whoop. It's weird. Did you start his backpack? Erica, it's fine. It's 10:20.
The pump was dead. I'm letting it charge. I'll put it on the charger at 10.
Pump's not dead.
Pump was dead.
It's not dead. All right, here we go. Passing yards. Kyle McCord. Isn't Kyle McCord back? Isn't McCord coming back for another year? I think McCord's playing another year, isn't he? You didn't check me on that, dude, but I think Kyle McCord's playing another year. So Kyle McCord led the country with 47.79. Cam Ward, Jackson Dart, Shadur, then Garrett. I think Kyle McCord is playing in 2025. Could be. Let me check. Okay, never mind. He declared for the draft. Okay. So, yeah. So then Nuss is the leading returning passer, and he was 5th in the country this year, and he's the leading returning passer. I thought McCord was coming back. Hey, Scott Shirley, with all the criticism of the LSU safeties, I'm surprised Jake Olson has received practically none. That's fair, Scott. And I could argue that, they didn't have a ton of talent back there, which is true. However, the same could be said for defensive tackle. And Bo Davis maximized that group. So I'd agree with you, actually. Mark, best pro prospect quarterback coming into the NFL draft. I would take Shadur Sanders. I think he's fantastic. And he showed tremendous toughness a year ago when he was sacked more than any quarterback in the country and was still the only offense that Colorado had. Brand new coach and team and quarterback. 23, FSU was really good and better. 24, new defensive staff, OC. circumstances do matter, but I would also say if you go back, Cortland, like losing it now that it was Ogeron, but losing at home in 2020 to Mike Leach in Mississippi State was inexcusable. UCLA was not a great UCLA team that you lost to in 2021. You were sloppy as all get out. That was not a great Florida State team in 2022, and you were sloppy. 23 Florida State was very good, but you had Jaden Daniels, Malik Neighbors, Brian Thomas. It's just your defense was atrocious. And there was no reason to lose to SC. That was not a good SC team that you lost to this year. Can Rattler be a QB1 for the Saints long term? Way too early to make that call. But I would rather see Spencer Rattler play next year and move on from Derek Carr. Brent, good morning. After getting about 10 inches of snow in Harahan, ready to return this 1-week free trial of Minnesota weather. Manny, 3 days locked down with my lovely bride will strain every marriage. The peanut gallery in my house is killing me. Can my kid come over, please? Carl, tell E-Rock this is still a family show. I don't know. It was probably from something earlier. I don't remember what we were talking about. I don't understand why BK won't hire a true special teams coach and analyst like McMahon. Well, or as an analyst, because you have to get someone that's a special teams coach that's willing to take an analyst job. And that's not always easy to find a person like that who's willing to take less as an analyst instead of being an on-field coach. And I agree, special teams weren't the problem last year. Let's see. Cartel Bo, Matt, if we get Kingsbury, what are the odds of us retaining Clint Kubiak as the OC? Yeah, I don't think good. I mean, because if you I think he'll bring in whoever he wants, right? But if you hire an offensive-minded coach, especially one that's going to call plays, getting an offensive coordinator that's looking to call plays is probably not a realistic option. I think Kubiak had a couple of interviews in Seattle already, didn't he? Joseph Fallsgraf, 8 inches of snow in Panama City. Thomas, April 27th at Jazz Fest. All right. Thoughts on Mike Kafka as a head coach? Think gets a bad rap because the Giants are a mess. Reminds me of a young Sean Payton. Could be. Admittedly, don't know a ton about him. It's why I think the interview process is important. I mean, that's the whole thing with Mike Tomlin, right? Tomlin wasn't expected to get the Steelers job years ago. He went for the interview, blew everybody away, and now he's the longest tenured head coach with Harbaugh in the NFL. Blown coverage. I see snow all the time in Colorado. It's funny to see everyone in Louisiana have fun with it. Yeah, when it's a novelty, when you live in it every day, it's not as much fun. Can the new season of college football get here already? Time for reruns, I guess. 8 months, man. 8 months. I bet if Tay had an outside show, E-Rock would be there. Absolutely. Got it. Oh, Dave Matthews is April 27th. Okay. Dave Matthews, April 27th. Pearl Jam, May 3rd. Let's go, E-Rock. What you say? Yeah. I haven't seen Dave Matthews live probably since the last time he was at Jazz Fest. Probably the last time I saw Dave Matthews live. I went with Kelly Patrick. Were we dating then? That's probably the last time I saw. I mean, we used to go to the Woodlands and watch Dave Matthews every year. Huge Dave Matthews fan back in the day. I guess I still am. All right, couple more. Mark, would you say the nerd schools, like with rich alumni like Tulane and Vanderbilt, on an upward trajectory? The thing is, if they want to, like, could you turn your could you put your phone on silent so I won't hear the clickety clack of the thank you. It's if they want to be. If they have the money, if they want to invest the money in being great in sports, they could. They just don't. That's why, like, SMU is an interesting test case, right? SMU has this boatload of billionaires who decided they were going to go buy their way into the ACC and buy a roster in the first year of the playoff they're in. So it's doable for places like Vanderbilt and Tulane if they want to, and Harvard, if they wanted to invest the money in being great. They just don't. Joseph believes Nuss has the best odds at FanDuel for Heisman. I saw Arch Manning was 1, Nuss was 2. Tremaine, good morning to you and your family. Life sucks with no FR. We'll be back tomorrow, man. Trust me, like I've told you all this for years. Like the day that I'm not excited to go back on air is the day I know it's time to do something else. And haven't reached that yet. Let's see. I know coaches lie about this all the time. I thought I read that Cliff had no interest in being a head coach. It's not that he said that. It's that he said he was not going to, he was putting off the interview process until after the Commander's season is done. So we'll see if he goes on interviews after the Commanders are done. Abner, what's the link to vote for Parrish? Thank you, Abner. Very kind of you. I'll go ahead and post that here in the chat again. It's for the Best of Baton Rouge through the Advocate. Voting runs through January 24th. So that's this Friday. You can click the link. It doesn't allow me to link directly to where you vote for Parrish. It just allows you to link the vote, like the whole voting page. So you have to click Home and Garden, Roofing Company, and then select Parrish. So thank you. That'd be awesome. I'd appreciate it very much if y'all voted. Have you voted yet? Parrish in the Best of Baton Rouge? Trivia. Got a call from my daughter's school. They're closed the rest of the week. They're in Pensacola.
We close day by day. So we're closed Thursday.
Thank you, Janet. Good morning. Cortland, once in a lifetime, hasn't happened in the 1800s. I was talking about having to make a trip north one year so my daughter can see snow. Lucy B, good morning. 2 inches of snow in Savannah, Georgia. Let's see. Is it safe to say we should indeed bring back a Debo on a cheaper 2-year deal? I will be interested to see what they do with the Debo, and it really stinks for him to get injured in his contract year. That's just it's never good to be injured, but it's really unfortunate timing for Paulson Adebo. I think, of course, you bring him back if you can bring him back on a sensible deal. But I also think that's a position that you got to address in the draft. You know, you got a good look at Kool-Aid this year, especially after trading away Lattimore. Are you convinced Kool-Aid and Alontae Taylor with a Debo can be your boundary corners and your nickel? If so, then you'd probably be set there. But see. Mark, how do the Pelicans land 3 Hall of Fame players in 20 years and fumble all 3? I don't know that we can definitively say Zion's a Hall of Fame player. When he plays, he's a 26-6 guy when he plays. The transfer portal helps the nerd schools because it takes the SATs out of it. Jerry G, good morning. Go Tigers. Who do you want the new Saints coach to be? Yeah, I mean, I've said so many times I want a young offensive-minded coach, preferably from the McVay-Shanahan tree. Ben Johnson would have been my first choice, but the Saints apparently never even got a look at him. He's already the coach of the Bears. So, I mean, I think you could do far worse than Joe Brady. We'll see. Jerry G still at home for the 3rd day. Miracle Martinez, any baking going on today? Maybe revisit those holiday treats?
I don't have these. I'm not prepared. I don't have these. I didn't think everything would be just shut down. I thought maybe a day. So I don't have anything to bake.
Liam Cohen pulled out as a Jags candidate. That's interesting.
Can you turn the camera when I get up?
Ooh, Arkansas's Fland is out for the rest of the season. That's a good kid. Who's the 5-star number 1 player in the country. You're good.
I'm afraid of him.
No, you're good. She's scooting the chair out of the room so she doesn't have to stand up and have any part of her body get on the camera. All right, y'all. I think we're just about done here. Milton, good morning. All right, let's bounce. Appreciate y'all for being here. Go about our day. Please check out LouisianaSports.net. Great opportunity to catch up on some reading over there, content if you haven't checked it out yet. Hunt's got a great piece up this morning on Nick Saban, and his portal profile series has been really good as well. Info on every deep dive on every portal transfer LSU got. So check it out. All right, y'all have an awesome day. Thanks so much for watching. Enjoy.